Beautiful. We are back after that beautiful song break. Actually, that's a brand new song that was released not so long ago. Powerful song by Israel Mbonyi. And at this moment, we're going to get down into the newspapers and just to read these comments. We are here with Sylvia, spiritual maturity. This is a wonderful sermon challenging us to mature up. Thank you so much. That's my mom and my little sister who have been tuned in, watching, and really being blessed by the show. Thank you for the many comments that you have also sent our way. We truly appreciate. And at this moment, I'm just going to get to the newspapers. The Daily Nation is saying how opposition lost Malava and Mbeere North. It says here the Mbeere North and Malava constituency seats seemed the best bet for opposition candidates, but the ruling party won both, albeit with narrow margins. Beside the heavy state machinery, past voting patterns, clan politics, and population dynamics influence the outcome of the polls. A story covered in pages 4 and 5, but it continues to say ... as Gachagua stirs up a storm. So it says here that tensions have risen in the united opposition with controversial remarks by former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua rocking the outfit that is planning to field a joint presidential candidate against President William Ruto in the next general election. A story covered on page 10. Moving on, I see here on the crime segment, witness links priestess to Shakahola Binzaro cult. Quite interesting. New testimony has thrust Charlene Anindo into sharper focus in the massacre of hundreds of followers of the Doomsday Cult. Page 28, covering that story. 58,000 more teachers are needed in senior school. A story covered on page 12. And I also see MCA's blunder hands Nyaribo easy Senate to win. Also covered on page 8. Secret profits inside thriving Holy Communion business. This is a story covered on page 3. Looks like Holy Communion business is really, thriving because, by the way, it's not just churches who buy them. Even families do invest in that as a culture in their lives and homes. Moving on into the Standard, I see Mbijiwe dead or alive. For more than 4 years, the family of missing security analyst Mwenda Mbijiwe has lived in agony. Now, a High Court order summoning Kenya's top police chiefs has reopened old wounds and raised new questions as his mother collapses under the weight of despair. The state is finally being forced to explain how a man allegedly seized by police could vanish without trace in a country where enforced disappearances have become chillingly routine. And that's a story that has been greatly covered on the Standard newspaper. Justice Martin Munya here is saying, I have considered the application made by both sides and therefore order the second and third respondents, IG and DCI, to appear in court physically on December 16th, 2025 to explain the whereabouts of Mbijiwe. That is set to be next week on Tuesday. Moving on, the real estate pullout is covering banks to up auctions as construction sector loan defaults rise. That is being reported right there on the Standard newspaper. The Business Daily also is covering something here. State set for 245 billion shillings windfall from sale of Safaricom stake. I also see here 15 billion shillings lecturers, teachers allocations top in fresh mini budget. And I also see imports record fastest growing Kenya power source of electricity. And also World Bank says Kenya has failed to tame spending. Quite interesting. You can have a look at it. You can read that story in the Business Daily pullout. The quote here by John B. Okumu is saying, as the continent continues to attract global attention, it is time to move beyond stereotypes and see country risk through a more balanced lens. Go and look at that. The Life pullout today is covering the business of lighting up festive season. Definitely a big business. And I think as we have continued on, as we continue to grow, and as the Western influence continues to be upon us, African countries, you realize that we have, invested so much in buying the Christmas trees and the lights, things that were not really a thing for us before. But right now, the lights business is booming and growing. So have a look at that story and get to be on the know. So that's it for the newspaper review. Let's now have a look at the video of the day.